Pleased to be joined now by the 12th ranked welterweight in the UFC, fighting Demian Maia at UFC 263 this weekend. Belal, great to talk to you, interview you for the very first time. Big one against the legend of the game. Nice to be back in there. Are you excited for this one?
Yeah, super excited. Like you said, he's a legend of the game. He has a huge name. And it's one of those guys that I've always wanted to be testing myself against. He's that guy that to have him on your resume is a huge thing. And it's to get this W is going to be amazing for me. And then to even have fans back in the crowd. I can't wait for this. I can't wait to feel that energy. It's going to be amazing.
How did you find it fighting without fans? Are you somebody, do you think you thrive, and are you able to give it that extra mile when you got the crowd there?
Yeah. I feel like they just bring a whole different energy. And then for me to have like my family knowing that they're able to watch it live and come down, it's like, it's an experience for us all. So like anytime I have a fight, anywhere I used to go, they would always come with me no matter where it was, even on the smaller shows. So to have them back in the crowd with me, it's a different type of energy. And for me and also for them. So it's going to be amazing.
How important was it for you to kind of put the Leon Edwards fight behind you and be able to get back in there and just, get back to doing what you do best after the frustration of that one?
It was frustrating, especially because I was calling for the rematch. They didn't give it to me. So, but it's like one of those things. I know it's a business, and I'm not going to sit there and pout and cry about it. Demian Maia is another big name, and to me, it was still progress. I just wanted to fight a ranked guy, somebody with a big name, somebody that fans and everybody recognize as a guy that competes for the belt. He's fought for the belt twice, so he's that level up. So I want to be able to show them that I'm on that level as well.
This seems a little bit deliberate, maybe putting Leon on the same card as you. There's so many storylines that could take place. Nate Diaz is a big name as well. Is that all set up in your eyes to have that rematch with him if he loses?
Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't like to look far ahead or anything like that, or look past Maya. But like you said, everything happens for a reason. I feel like they were taking off that other card for a reason, and now we're on the same card. So I feel like the stars are going to align. Nate Diaz is going to win this fight, and me and Leon are going to get that rematch.
What do you think about the state of the welterweight division right now? There's a lot of killers in there. Do you think this is one of the best divisions in the UFC? Are there people? Is there any unfinished business or business to get to for you? You've got people like Vicente Luque that maybe you could get that one back later on in the year if things work out for you. You got
I feel like one of the most
down there as well.
I feel like it's one of the most exciting divisions right now, and it's cool because we have an active champ, a champ that's willing to take fights and being active, not sitting out on the sidelines or anything like that. So that's a good thing. That and the division starting to move now. Now you got Gilbert Burns against Wonder Boy. You got guys actually taking fights that are in the top 5, and that's what I want to see. I want to see guys. I hate those divisions that are just everybody just waiting for that big fight. Everybody thinks they're a money fighter, and they just have that idea of themselves as being that money fighter, but they're really not. So like, I'm just happy that the division is moving around. And like you said, yeah, I have a lot of names in the division that I want to compete against, fight against. And I feel like there's a lot of fun stylistic matchups. And of course, yeah, I want that Luque fight for sure back. So yeah, whatever this one, I'm worried about Maya right now. Once I get past them, then yeah, I got a lot of names on my list.
It's an interesting one. You're rep by Ali Abdelaziz, right? He reps, Gilbert reps the champ. That always makes it interesting. How important has Ali been in your career, and how interesting is it when kind of two of his fighters are maybe set to come to pass like that?
Man, he does an amazing job of making everything professional. Like we literally got a group chat with every single fighter on his roster, and he tries to make it like a family thing where we're all cool with each other. Like it's a business. You don't have to hate somebody to fight them. And like even as you saw with Gilbert and Kamaru, they were literally teammates, but they understand that like I got to put food on my kids' tables, so that's what really matters. And I feel like Ali does a good job of balancing it all out. Whereas he tells us don't sit there and call out a fight that doesn't really make sense or talk trash to the guys on the team if it's not gonna lead to a fight. So there's no really point of it. And Ali's one of the best businessmen and business minds in the game. I feel like him, the best manager in the game. Like the way he balances all these guys out, it's crazy. Even like he's had, I think, what did he have? Maurice Cejudo fight, Khabib and Gaethje fight. Usman and Gilbert fight, and he stays out of it. It's not one of those things. He knows that all these guys are trying to eat, so you got to be able to help them, and that's what he does.
It's the 5-rounder right between Diaz and Leon Edwards, even though it's the third fight from the main event. Is that something you'd like to see more often? You know, you can go to deep waters like anybody else. Do you think that is a better way to kind of separate the men from the boys? And if it's a big fight, doesn't matter if it's not a title fight, let's make it a 5-rounder. Are you into that?
Yeah, I love that idea. Actually, I wish they would do that. Maybe with even all the main card fights. Like you said, like even still, if it doesn't go 5 rounds, you'll probably get a lot more finishes in those fights. Extra round here, extra round there. That's when you see guys break more. And like they say, fatigue makes the coward of us all. So like guys, when they get tired, that's when you see who really has heart, who really can be able to push it. And 5 rounds is hard. I've gone 5 rounds before, and it's a whole different mindset. So I think it's cool that they're doing it like that. I wish they would just do that with more fights.
You're in incredible form, you know, really impressive win streak. Apart from the Jeff Neal fight, you'd be on an epic win streak, right? Do you feel that you've got a little bit of momentum behind you? Do you start to think towards the belt now? And are you planning kind of a trajectory to get yourself there?
Yeah, like you said, literally I've won 8 of my last 9 fights. And it's people are now starting to realize, oh, we got another one in the division. And I feel like that's the thing this fight's going to be able to help me do. It's going to help me prove that I belong there. Because the only guys that beat Demian Maia are guys that fought for the title. He's only lost to Gilbert Burns, T. Woodley, Usman. Those guys are right there. We're champions or are champions. Those are the only guys he loses to. So for me to be the guy like that, it's going to let these people know, like, Usman doesn't need to be going up to 85. He's still got a couple more fights at 70 that he needs to prove himself with.
How weird do you think it is that this past week, the most talked about guys in the fight business are YouTubers? Is that fair enough, or how do you feel about that?
For me, it's like a lot of these guys are caught in between of like hating on these guys, but like, how could you hate on guys for making that type of money? Like they built their brand, they built their reputation, they built their following. So it's like, you can't hate on somebody for having a following. Hey, if they want to fight, let them fight. Like even with CM Punk, like I've had so much respect for him he was in that gym. I saw how hard he was working. I saw how hard he was training, and they don't have to take a chance of fighting. They don't they have enough money where they can just chill on the sidelines, but they put themselves on the line of actually going out there and competing. And I could respect that. Like this guy sat there fighting Mayweather, and that's the greatest boxer in the world. Like anybody would do that. Like, and he built himself up to have that opportunity himself. Like a lot of these fighters are coming out now, like, oh, well, Dana White needs to start doing this. Dana White, them guys got like 60 million followers, 6 million followers. So like they have a different type of following. Their fans are probably the ones that are all paying for it. So like if they could have those people willing to pay that type of thing, how can you hate on them?
I'm of the opinion that Tyron Woodley was one of the greatest UFC welterweights ever. I know a lot of fans kind of maybe detracted because of his latter stage of his career, but how do you rate his boxing? Do you think he knocks Jake Paul out?
Yeah, honestly, he's one of those things. T. Woodley got really good hands. I trained with him. He's fast, he's powerful, and he's not going to have to cut weight to 70. So he's not going to have to make that weight cut. He's going to have bigger gloves. He's not going to have to worry about wrestling or grappling or anything like that. So he can just sit there and focus on his hands, and he's like a freak athlete. So it's going to be one of those things. Like if Jake and, T. Woodley, he's not one of those guys that is going to hold you up or people are going to say, oh, he threw the fight or anything like that. Like he cares about his reputation. He cares about winning. And I feel like he thinks that he still has something left in the tank. So I feel like he's going to want this fight and then get another bigger fight. But it has to start with knocking this kid out.
Last question for me, mate. Demian Maia, there's a lot of talk about him retiring after this fight. Your last finish was a submission against Takashi Sato. Are you going to send Demian Maia off with a finish for you, do you think?
No, I mean, as you see, like when you sit there and you get guys to a breaking point, black belts and jiu-jitsu doesn't matter. You seen it with Rodolfo Vieira. He got tapped out by a purple belt, and you're like, oh, what the heck? Jacare got his arm broken. And you're like, hey, these guys are the greatest jiu-jitsu guys in the world. So it's like one of those things. We're in a new day and age where fighters are well-rounded, and I can compete with Demian Maia anywhere in the game. So, like, for me, people are going to be very surprised with what I'm capable to do with them.
You're the man, Belal. Real pleasure to interview you, man. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. It means a lot.